Okay, so we are recording now. I am so excited and delighted today to welcome beautiful Aleksandra Encheva, who is here to chat with me today on the topic of conscious romantic relationships and just relationships in general, but obviously romantic relationships is a particular area of my profession as Dr. Ellen Love Coach. Aleksandra and I completed a seminar series in July 2019 now in gorgeous Monte Carlo, where we were learning the EDUCO education model with Dr. Tony Quinn. And it was certainly like a dramatically life-changing experience for me. And Aleksandra, went on to do further training with Tony Quinn, and she's a very passionate advocate now and spokesperson, I would say, for Tony Quinn and EDUCO, and she has such beautiful expertise on the topic. And just it's really, I'm going to let Aleksandra speak as well in a moment about how she would describe it, but I would say it's to do with raising your levels of consciousness, completely expanding your levels of consciousness so that your reality just totally changes. And so Aleksandra, is there anything you'd like to add to that, just in terms of your experience?
Well, I guess you described me perfectly, and it was amazing that we actually went there together and experienced that. But as you said, I continued further, and I guess as you continue further into that education, the EDUCO model and the EDUCO seminar, you actually gain this incredible awareness as your consciousness expands. And that's exactly what I'm talking from today. That's how I'm going to be talking about relationships. It will be from a place of higher awareness that I can tune into. That's the basic
Yes.
understanding. And just a quick recap on that. That's something that everybody can achieve. It's not unachievable. Everybody can tap into their own intelligence and to the intelligence that is within you and out there. And I'm going to cover a little bit more later. But I'm going to let Ellen ask her questions first.
So yeah, let's just dive in. My main client base, I guess, are people who are single and looking for love, looking for a romantic partner, or there are also people who are potentially in relationships as well. But just to start off with, I would just like to ask you, what advice would you give to a single man or woman who is just wanting to call in that romantic partner, that true love, that soulmate? They want the fairy tale and they're single, and just, what advice would you give to a single person in that situation?
Of course. So that's actually the perfect question, I guess, to start on this journey of, let's say, exploring more of what is possible in relationships and within your own self. So very quickly, I'm going to use this moment to actually say what EDUCO model is about and how my understanding and our understanding can change. So within each person, there is this piece of energy that is circling throughout the whole entire body and is kind of generally stronger situated within the solar plexus. And that energy lays dormant. And we spend the time of our lives looking outside of us for answers, looking outside of us to make us feel good, to make us feel loved, to make us understand things. So we continuously have this almost like a desperate looking into someone to give us the answers, to give us love, to give us everything else that we might need or desire. However, the EDUCO model, it's something that the most extraordinary thing that actually happened to me, because that is a system of learning steps of how to actually unleash and uncover your own life force. And as I said, your life force is situated here. And when you discover it, when you uncover it from all the things that society has put on top of it as we grew up. So as you're born with that life force already outside. If you look at a child, you know they're alive, they're full of energy, they don't have inhibitions, they don't have fears, they don't have, you know, they're just so free. And you can actually see that life force in them, because when you see a baby, when you're newborn, you kind of fall in love with baby if you really looked at it, and you don't know why, because you actually see the life force inside that baby. But unfortunately, the society is built up in a way to actually suppress that life force. And as we grow older, we put programs, programs are just learnings, we cram everything in. Don't do this, don't be like that, separation between people, between races, so on and so forth. And that life force goes down and down and down until it completely covers up. And then depression, separation, anxieties, sadness, tiredness, fatigue, these type of things happen to people. They just feel dull, they feel like life is dull, and I don't blame them. So why do we live in a system, in a world that does not support our own birthright of experiencing life through our highest nature? That life force is your higher nature, your soul, your piece of God, how your energy source, your force, however you want to feel, to put a name on it. Everybody has a different names. The ki, the chi in martial arts, you know, we have names for it. However, they don't teach you how to use it. They don't teach you how to grow it. They actually suppress it. And that is just because something has gone wrong in the system. You know, everybody's watched The Matrix, you know, free yourself up. Exactly that. And it's not a conspiracy theory or anything like that. This is actual truth. So what happened to me is, just a quick background, I was one of those people who were single, who were looking for love, the true love. And that embarked me on a journey of self-development. I did about 10 years of self-development. And at one point, I think I was giving up, and I was thinking, God, I think I'm just on a kind of endless road. Nothing is really changing. I was still carrying on my baggage from before, if you know what I mean. I was still carrying it on until I actually met Dr. Tony Quinn. And when I met him, I went to the seminar. Something happened. I could feel this energy running through my body, increasingly strong, and I started becoming aware of a higher power. I started becoming aware of my own higher power, and it has stayed with me ever since. It only has grown and grown with every single day. And now when I speak, I guess I speak from that higher self to that higher self in you, I guess. So the advice that I would give to every single person who is looking for love, like I said, I was one of those, and things were not happening the way how I wanted. Number one, I would say, be very, very clear on who you actually are. Who are you? A lot of people live their lives, including me before, with some labels or something that society or somebody else around you has given you. Who are you? Do you want children? Do you not want children? Do you want to live alone? Do you want to live in this country? Do you want to work this job? What do you really are like a person? Are you more like a quieter person that likes their peace and quiet, or are you more outgoing person that's really out there and is more like a kind of, just really, really get to know yourself? How do you get to know yourself? I'm afraid there is no other way. You're gonna have to embark on that journey with yourself. As I said, I didn't know who I was. I was confused, I was anxious, I had, you name it, lines of problems before, psychological problems more than anything. I was living in my past. But then I decided to embark on that journey to really know myself. And as I knew myself more and more, I grew stronger and stronger. I grew more confident. So you cannot be, when people say confident, how can you go into a relationship if you don't know yourself? Know yourself. Who are you? But really be honest with yourself. Who are you? If you're bossy, be bossy. If you're quiet, be quiet. If you are, you name it. It's really, there isn't something as right or wrong. Because when you really own yourself, when you really, really own yourself, then you actually can attract the right type of person in your life. If you don't know yourself, you will attract people who also don't know themselves, and it becomes a mess. So step number 1, really know yourself and accept yourself lovingly for exactly who you are, because this is exactly who you are meant to be. We try to be someone else all of our lives. We try to fill in gaps or shoes of somebody else's desires for us. My parents want me to have children, or my mom wants me to get married, or my dad wants me to get a better job, or society says you should be married by this and that, or society says, oh, if you do this, you're not a good mom, or you're not a good dad. These are the type of things that I'm talking about. Who are you? And be okay with it. That may take some work, That's why we need help. I guess I needed help. I knew it. I followed with it. So number 1 is really know yourself and really own yourself. Own who you are. Because once you know yourself, the number 2 becomes, what do you want from a relationship? Who do you want in that relationship? And when I mean about talking about know yourself, I would say know your deeper self. Deeper self, that self that I'm talking about. Because once you start with that is a fantastic, the most necessary foundation of any relationship. That's the foundation of the conscious relationship. That true self inside of you, that higher self, has got everything that you need in order to stay connected to yourself and to the higher power out there. And then you feel confident, invincible, powerful, amazing. And that's how you become, from a normal girl, a goddess.
Yes, wow. I love it.
You become a goddess when you own and you know your power. And I'm not talking about girls only. That's the same for guys. Yeah. Girls need to step up their game. If you want to have a conscious relationship, if you want to live a conscious life, girls need to step up their game, but so do guys. Yeah. I'm really a strong believer that guys also need to step up their game into the conscious world. Because if a conscious girl and a conscious guy then meet, they can create a miracle into this world for the bettering of the world. And that is actually the purpose of conscious relationships.
Divine union is something that I would call it, divine union, and different names like that. Some people say divine union, twin flame relationship. There's lots of different names for it. Yeah.
I have only one name that I know of, and that is know yourself, your true self, draw that self out to be more to the surface, and then from there onwards you feel like a goddess, or a god. And I know some people might not agree with it. That's fine, but that's exactly how I have been feeling ever since. And it's not something that you would look down on somebody else. No, you just really own yourself. It is for you. You know who you are. You know that you are this incredible piece of work. Every single person of us is. Every single person is entitled to that feeling, men and women and children, and so, know yourself, draw yourself out. So when you draw that power out, I can guarantee you it clears off all of your problems. It clears off your past. That's the most important thing. It clears your head, it clears your path, past, it clears you from everything that you've been dragging on with you, that luggage, that baggage that we all have. I used to have it too, big time. As you know, 10 years in personal development, you know. That power clears everything, because energy is so intelligent. We are made of energy. And because it's so intelligent, when passes through your body, it knows exactly what to do for your higher best, for your higher good, you know. And the more energy that comes from you, the more of your power that comes out, the more you clear yourself and you become this higher being, you know, that then can look in the world and say, oh, okay, these people are like that because they don't have access to what I have. I need to let them know, you know. And that's I guess how I am so passionate about EDUCO, and I believe that is the answer for everybody. When everybody learns how incredibly special, magnificent they are, that is, I guess, the best base for any romantic relationship. Because when you know yourself, then you know what you want, and then you attract exactly what you want.
Yes, it's so important. It's so important and beautifully explained, because if we don't take those steps of knowing ourselves first, we're looking to the other person in the relationship to fill us up. We're looking for somebody else to save us, to rescue us, or to make us feel better. And, you know, we even look for that energy, you know, in sex. We look for it in alcohol, you know, drugs, addiction. But what everybody's looking for is that energy, that feeling of being happy and euphoric and full and complete within yourself. So when you're feeling like that yourself, then any relationship that comes into your life is going to just be enhancing that, you know. And I talk about it with my clients, and somebody taught me this as well. It's like a lot of people go into relationships with a beggar's bowl. Please fill me up, please make me happy. But we want to go into a relationship with a full buffet and saying, let's share this together. And Tony talks beautifully about the two people coming together in divine union or in a conscious relationship, and how that actually can bring forth completely different children born into the world.
Yes.
Of a higher consciousness, you know. So it's gorgeous.
Well, ultimately, to my understanding and from what I've learned from the seminar, from Dr. Tony Quinn, and I guess my own personal insights are that relationships are actually meant to be conscious relationships. What we experience as relationships, a very, very low level of actually what they're supposed to be or what is actually possible. So I guess in order for anybody who is out there looking for more in their relationship, I believe they should start with looking for more within themselves, and then you'll never be on empty. And what happens in a conscious relationship then after, if one person is conscious, like for example, if a girl or a guy are already quite high aware and conscious, they will never go into a relationship that's not right for them. See, that's the number 2 that is so incredibly important. When you're on that, let's say, higher level, get awareness, or you've experienced yourself, you will be very clearly let know if you are going into the wrong relationship. You will never be able to go into the wrong relationship and then have those suffer, because normally that's what happens. Women get fed up with things, they go into wrong relationships, they know it's wrong relationship, then they are, they suffer and they're upset and they this and that. Once you're on that level, and the guys as well, guys also do it, everybody's got their own reasons for looking in for kind of a quick fix, like you mentioned earlier. But when you are in that, when you experience yourself will tell you, no, you wouldn't be able to go near a person if that person is not good for you. It won't be.
That's so true.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you will know very clearly exactly what you want, and you will be able to attract that person, you know. But as I said, in order for that to happen, more people have to become higher conscious. More people, guys need to step up their game. I'm telling you, girls need to step up their game, and we all need to have different types of relationships that when you're in a relationship with somebody like that, 1 + 1 does not equal 2. 1 + 1 equals an explosion of power. That's what happens. And then you can bring in different type of children.
It's like a new power, the power couple, you know, that we hear about in the whole celebrity culture. This is like a completely different type of power couple, which is the real true power couple. Because I love what you're saying, because Tony talks about true nature all the time. It's your true nature and right action. And if you're in your true nature before you meet somebody, just as you say, it's going to be impossible to be in the wrong relationship.
Absolutely.
And I love how Tony talks about, you know, that life, that the power and life will show you the way. So you just have to follow it once you get to a certain level of consciousness. You just follow it. And so you know that the people that you're meeting, you know, because a lot of women and men, you know, they're really scared that they're never going to meet anybody, that they're going to be lonely. And how do they meet people? Like, am I supposed to go on Tinder? Am I supposed to go to a bar? You know, how am I ever going to meet somebody? But when you're at this level of consciousness, that's not even going to cross your mind.
No. I don't blame, look guys, I don't blame people wanting. I was one of them. I was really, I mean, actually, honestly, the reason when I went into personal development is that I realized that I'm carrying baggage. I realized that I wanted a different type of relationship that I've already seen that is possible. I wanted a better type of relationship. And I guess I didn't know it back then, but I must have been looking for this. So I embarked on the personal development journey so I can get to experience relationship for actually what it is meant to be. I didn't want you to have the arguments. I didn't want you to have the game playing. I didn't want you to have the manipulations. I didn't want you to have those type of I wanted the real deal. And because I wanted the real deal, I started, and I had to start with myself. I had to be the real deal first in order to attract that type of partner. And that's why I say women and men need to step up their game into the consciousness game, into the game of life, if they want to experience a better relationship, if they want to experience a better world, a better version of themselves, and a better life altogether. Because the relationship that you will be then after that is capable of actually making a huge difference in the world, not just in your life, in the life of many.
Yes.
Because of the, let's say, the multiplication of the power. Yeah. When you join power and power, you don't have 1 + 1 = 2. I said it's actually an explosion of power.
Yeah.
And that is, I guess, in many places you hear this type of things, and but I've experienced it for real, because when you're on true nature, which is that I am a true nature, then you can just hold a hand with somebody who is in true nature, and then you get to experience their power, and the power amplifies. The more people you add on to that, the more the power amplifies. And that is the most incredible and sensational thing, that you can actually have a relationship with somebody, relate to somebody, just through holding their hand, or obviously if it's a romantic relationship, just by kissing or being held together, or obviously having sex. Yeah. Can you imagine what type of relationship No, it's true.
I was going to say that because I remember it's quite difficult to explain what the energy feels like for somebody that hasn't experienced it yet. So when you take part in a seminar with Tony Quinn, he will sort of transmit the energy to you. Sometimes he does it through touching, zapping, we call it. He will zap people, but often other times, you know, some people he doesn't zap as such. He claps his hands and the energy comes out. And the energy, it's like an activation within, and that is part of a life, that is a very small part of a life force energy that can come up, but this is like a completely different level. Like it's nothing to do with sex. What I'm saying is it's more than you could ever imagine, because it's mind, body, soul, and it's total consciousness, you know. So
well, it's when you get to experience your higher power, it's nothing to do with sex. But it is the energy that runs through your body.
Yes, that's it. Some people, Kundalini, as some people call it.
Yeah, use your own energy, and energy is electrical in nature. So when it runs through your body, you know, it does move your body. And I guess the closest that a person would have slightly experienced it would be through that you just mentioned. But that's not it.
No, exactly.
There's so much more to it, and there's absolutely nothing that can actually come close to your experiencing your own life force. It's the most incredible, the most unique, the most kind of intimate for yourself understanding of who you truly are. And the energy, yes, if you would ask me now, because that was obviously very much in the beginning of the seminar.
Maybe that's just my memory of it, Aleksandra. You know, you may not have said that. So maybe it's just my memory of it. But
no, I probably would have said something, because I'm quite, you know, I joke about these things, you know. I'm quite jokey, so I must have said something like that. But, you know, it's it feels like you suddenly become alive, re-energized, recharge, as if you've plugged yourself in the electricity socket to a higher power source. And instantly, as that happens, if you feel tired, if you have any little thought or anything that may be bothering you in the slightest, smallest thing, that gets completely cleared off, because the energy starts from your solar plexus and then it runs through your head, and it clears off. Literally, you can feel it, how it pushes everything away that is not real. And thoughts, worries, anxieties, everything that can cover you over is not real. The real thing is actually the essence of who you truly are. And that essence is everything that you need to know. And that essence is everything that you need to get hold of in order to have a fantastic life, and obviously learn how to use your mind in order to direct that energy to what you want in your life, which they teach you a step by step, scientifically proven steps that can get you exactly where you want to be on the seminar. So, but in the same time, you know, I think life should be fun, life should be joyful, life should be, you know, light. And we should be joking about things like that if we wanted to, you know. But you can be that way when you really know yourself. As I said, you then stop thinking, what does other person think of me? Do they approve of me? And then you just kind of get on with your life as you're actually meant to be living it. It's an incredible freedom. I can describe it as incredible freedom. But I do believe strongly it is the number one foundation for any relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if you wanted to have a conscious relationship.
No, that's brilliant, Aleksandra. Thank you so much. I think we'll leave it there for now. And we may have another interview at a different time as well. And I will put some information, of course, on the video about where people can contact, can learn more about Tony Quinn and the EDUCO seminar, which is just, amazing, totally life-changing. and perfect if you want to call forth your true conscious romantic relationship, and just relationships in general, of course, as well, which we didn't even cover. But yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Aleksandra.
Thank you. Thank you so much for asking me to be your guest, and I hope to see you soon.
Yes, most definitely. Thanks.